Good
This
morning,
meeting is
ladies.
being recorded.
Going to record for all the folks that can't join today. I hope you guys all brought your notes from your breakout sessions, because that's really a lot of what I want to dig into is the breakouts that we couldn't attend, kind of what were the big takeaways from that. So if you could have those handy, that would be super helpful. I know I felt like every time there were like 4 breakouts that I wanted to go to all of them. And then there would be like a row of classes where I'm like, oh, nothing here is like really speaking my language. So I was pretty bummed that I missed a few of those. All right. Still have some people joining. Okay. So I'm starting 75 hard today, and I know a lot of people on this call are also doing it. That was like one of my biggest takeaways from everything was like, I need to get super focused and I need to make sure that anything that is holding me back is out of the way. And so for me, that is my drinks. So I am doing 75 hard and getting super serious about my health and just making sure that I'm firing on all cylinders as I start to front load my marketing. So I think for me, those were my 2 biggest takeaways, was front loading my marketing and getting super clear. And Maggie, I'll hand over to you to kind of share what your biggest takeaways were.
So it actually all came in I think it was Charles Sparks. I'm also doing 75 hard. And it tied in really well for the takeaway because front loading everything by July 1st, right? So I've always wanted to do the 12-week year, which is a book that I'm going to be reading because in 75 hard, that's like what you have to read something with during the period. And so front loading everything, but in order for me to front load everything, I have to become very diligent with my schedule. And that's something that 75 hard requires you to do, which that's why I'm doing the 75 hard is because it will require me to really follow a very specific schedule so I can fit in all of those requirements. And then in that I've gone over like my business plan and front loading everything by July 1st. So that was like my biggest thing. Is anyone else hearing that? Okay.
Hearing it. I think we need to mute those that are not talking, which I can do that from my little button here. So Kristen says, explain what 75 hard is. Well, I am doing 75 soft is what my husband called it because some of the things in there I can't do, but it's basically like 2 45-minute workouts a day. One's supposed to be indoors and one outdoors. That's something I'm modifying because if I can get one into my schedule, that is fantastic. And so I'm not doing 2, but I am doing 1. It's no alcohol, following a diet, drinking. How much water is it, Maggie?
A gallon.
A gallon.
Yeah.
Yeah, a gallon of water a day, reading for 15 minutes a day. And then the version that we are doing is like real estate agent version. So it's 2 hours of income generating activities every single day. Did I miss anything?
Nope, that's pretty much it. For 75 days.
Yes, for 75 days. Oh, and you're supposed to take a progress picture every day, which is the other thing I'll probably modify because I don't really want to do that.
I don't think I'm doing that part either. I'm going to take one a week, if that, because I know that for me, I don't want to do it for physical reasons. I want to do it for mental reasons. So for me, that's not as important. So, and by the way, if you guys see me drinking from this, I know it's weird, but it's the only thing I have that has ounces at my house. And I ordered a plastic one that I can take out in public, but this is why I'm drinking. So I can actually measure. I have cups. I swear to you. Should I jump off and come back on? Because I can hear the echoing.
Yeah, I only really hear it with you.
It almost sounds like you have 2 Zooms on.
I'm going to jump off. I'll come back on.
Okay. I'll pay attention so I let you in and don't leave you in the waiting room. While she's jumping off and on, did anyone, I mean, it sounds like we're both like, get clear and, you know, front load your stuff. So did anyone else have like a really big aha that they wanted to share?
I was going to share something. Mine was very similar as far as being clear and doing a version of 75 hard, but I just signed up for a 12 week year. You know, that book is super good. There's sort of there's a free class happening tomorrow. I can find the link and put it for you all. And then was it free? I can't even remember, but it was either free or I think it was free. And then you could sign up for like a VIP afterwards to ask the two authors questions, which I did because I've read the book, but I like to have all the information presented. So somebody shared the link with me in Facebook, so I'll find it and put it down here if anybody wants to do it, because it really is a super great. It's a great idea, the 12-week year. Let me see if
I didn't even think about how well it corresponds to what Tom is asking us to do. I haven't counted the weeks yet, but I feel like that's right about the time frame we're working with.
I'm going to see if I can find the link for you all because I feel like it was free.
And I feel like Maggie had talked about like doing a book club, and I think that that might be, you know, then I know she was doing the fee-free agent. Is that what it's called? No, yeah. So I think maybe that would be a good one for us to do afterwards. If anyone is interested in reading that and just having some conversation around it. We could even set that up as like a separate meeting outside of this. Maybe once a week, we just kind of like talk about the book, and it could even be a call instead of a Zoom or whatever you guys want to do.
For sure. I'm trying to remember where I found it because I feel like it was free and I think it's tomorrow.
It's on their website. I think I did it.
Did you do
it's on their
it?
website, and I want to say it was a while ago. I want to say it was like $12 or some ridiculous price.
Because
If at
was
all.
it helpful? Was the one that you did helpful?
It was. So, well, yeah. So is it the one where every week they come out with a new email as well? So they had worksheets every week. That's the one I did.
So the one tomorrow, I'm trying to find where I saw it. A friend shared it with me. So tomorrow, so I'm Mountain Time. So it's 9 to 10:30 tomorrow. It's a Zoom. Like
I'm sure you'll find it on their website, though. They have everything on their website.
It's a Zoom. So it's an hour and a half. And I think it was free. I mean, it was either free or super, super cheap.
The one on their website right now is 2024. And I'm going to put the link in the chat.
Let's see. Maybe. 12, it's called a 12 work week workshop confirmation. There's a workbook.
The link's in the chat if anyone is looking for that. Thank you, Marna.
I really liked it. My issue is that I got stuck with the task, right? The weekly task a day. It's for me, it's like, okay, make your calls every day. So that was the only thing I always had in there. But I would totally be up for a book club talking about it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hey guys, I've just added, I think I just uploaded, my team did something like this similarly last year. And I know the program is expensive, but what we did is we had someone like our marketing team created this tracking sheet that keeps track of points. So it was something that we would, it basically, it tracks every single, I think it's daily. And then you would meet and go over, I don't know if that's opening for people, but it could be modified for this group. And I thought that it was a really easy way to track. I just pulled it from my file, so I haven't looked at it for like a year, but this basically tracks each week what you were doing with the point value.
That's super helpful.
Instead of paying for the program, because this is basically what it was.
Yeah. And I think Maggie sent to me, there's like a YouTube video that like basically breaks down the program too. So you could always watch that on YouTube for free as well.
I'll try to attach it. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, and I'm trying to find what I had too. Limited time offer, that's what I did. Okay, this one for tomorrow, it's $20.24.
So basically free.
Yeah. And then when you sign up, they send you 3 chapters in digital and audio to get going, and the book, and yeah. So I'll put that Facebook link too.
Perfect. We've got lots of good links in the chats, guys. So definitely grab those if you're interested in that. Okay, so who went to a breakout that was incredible and was amazing and wants to share what they learned with us? Not everybody at the same time.
Well, I did the event one, and the reason why is, you know, we've been doing like events at a lower level, and I wanted to get more intentional. So I thought that was great what they were doing. I forget who the speakers were. It was that couple. And the big thing, the big takeaway was, yeah, get their, I mean, it's kind of, everything is, it makes sense, right? We all know, grab their information, don't be too salesy, but grab their information by giving them something. Like, hey, grab their information, say you're going to do a raffle, you know, something like that, and follow up.
I have to say, I went to that one too. It was Betsy and Alan Thompson.
There you go. Thank you.
It was get 15 times your ROI on event marketing. And they obviously have grown to a massive size. So, but the big takeaways from that was how much they were really getting their vendors and their sponsors to kind of cover the costs of everything, but then also bring people to volunteer at the event. They were bringing in their kids, their high school students. One of their really, really big ones that they did is like a Get Lucky event in March. And the only people allowed to go to the event are either someone who has referred them, bought with them, or sold with them. And then when they show up, every single one of their events, they have someone fill out their name, address, phone number, or name, phone number, email, and answer 3 questions about real estate. And if you don't answer those 3 questions, then you don't get put in the drawing. It's mandatory. And the drawing for that Get Lucky is the winner. They actually pay 1 month of their mortgage at the end of the night. So obviously large scale, but then they also had really cool little things, like they always have a whole bunch of baby blankets, pink and blue. And as soon as they find out, they pull one off the shelf, get it engraved, and send it over with like the name and the weight and that kind of stuff. But I took a ton of notes on that, but they really have figured out what they're doing, and they're doing massive events. Like they're putting 15 or 20,000 in and making a couple 100,000 ROI in return.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Did anyone go to, what was the one did anyone go to Jill Biggs, the Growing My Business If I Had a Do-Over?
I went to that one.
How was that one?
It was good. I honestly, Karina, I've been nonstop since we've been back. I haven't had time to really like process and break down things. So if anyone else in the group went to it, feel free to share. I've been overwhelmed since I've returned, so I'm not much help today.
I get it. I have been as well. I totally get that.
Hey, Karina, one of the ones that I went to was the Maximizing Your SOI. I can't remember what the exact name of it was, but it was Amy Stockburger's. That one has my head still spinning. It was phenomenal. Probably my biggest takeaway from the entire retreat. You know, obviously they're in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I know nothing about that area of the country, but I can't imagine that it's just this booming metropolis. They had a team of 15 agents that sold 581 homes. So I would assume that they own a significant market share there. So I say all that to preface what she said. There was some of it that may not be applicable or as easy to implement without the kind of market share that she has. But one of the things, she started out her talk by saying that she makes almost $500,000 a year before she sells a single house. And I love the idea of, again, not trading your time for dollars. And so she really tapped into the way that my mind works as far as how do you have multiple streams of income. And one of the things that she did from a low level is that she has 3 moving trucks and she sells advertising space. The back of them have like roll ups and there's spots on there. I think she said there was 16 spots. So four spots wide by 4 spots high. So there's 16 spaces on each of these vehicles and she sells them to local vendors for advertising. And she actually cash flows on all of her moving vehicles just from the advertising that's being spent on them from local vendors. So I thought that that was a really good idea. Another thing that she does is she has this like just a 12-foot storage unit where she stores tables, folding chairs. She has bounce houses. She has cotton candy machines, popcorn machines, tools, like just about every power tool known to man. She has tile cutters. She has all this stuff, and it's all branded to her. And her clients have like unlimited use to use any of these items for free whenever they need them. And so she says that, you know, throughout the area, a lot of her clients will come to her and use her folding chairs for their weddings. And they all the folding, everything has her name and phone number all over it. And so she's like, so many of her clients' wedding pictures in the background, it's just like her name all over the chairs that they use from her. So I thought that that was a really good idea. She also, and this is one of her like value propositions when she goes to a listing appointment, she's got this whole like tiered system that when you work with me, you don't just get all this other stuff that all the other agents are offering. You have this entire other access here. One of the things that she does to generate the most income outside of real estate, and again, I think that this only works if you can leverage notoriety. She has a vendors list that she puts together that vendors pay $3,500 a year to be on her list. And she promotes them at every event that she has. She allows them to put up marketing, all of this stuff. She's got a particular sticker that every time she goes in to list a home, she puts in the top corner of the refrigerator. It's got a QR code on it with her name and phone number. She does it so that the stickers are really hard to take off. But when you scan that QR code, it takes you to a landing page of all of the vendors that she partners with. She says generally she'll choose 3 vendors per category, like 3 HVAC people, 3 plumbers, whatever, but that she takes as many lenders as want to give her $3,500 a year to be on the list. And she said sometimes she'll have 10 or 12 lenders that want to be on her list. And so she makes a significant income from that list. I asked her after the fact, like, what do you deal with the fact that maybe like somebody uses your vendors and they don't have a great experience? Like how, you know, and she was like, you know, every once in a while we've had to take people off the list, but I love the language she uses whenever she provides this list to her client. She'll say, every single one of these people on this list have pissed me off at least once this year, but they're truly the best in the business. And so she brings some levity to, they're still humans, and I can't stand behind everything that they do. But when it all is said and done, I work with a lot of people in this town, and these truly are the best. And so then she has them on a yearly contract where they renew every year to stay on that list. So that was a really cool thing that she did. Oh, and then she's got this QR code, right? So on the fridge is a QR code that goes to her vendor list. Everybody has access to that. That's something her sphere does. That sticker stays on the fridge to where whoever buys the house has access to it as well. However, she has a separate landing page to her exclusive clients that have the same vendors with discounted rates for services. So like everybody has access to her vendor list, but only her clients have access to a landing page that might have a $50 off an HVAC tune-up or something from those same vendors. And these vendors track, you know, who's calling them. And if they say, hey, Amy Stockburger sent me, she said that it is enough traction that the same vendors continue year after year, sometimes for more than a decade, they continue to spend the money because they believe that they're getting significant enough number of calls to justify the $3,500 that they're spending. So again, I think it works in a market where you really have significant market share. But that's not to say that, you know, I mean, I'm in Nashville. I don't have significant market share of Nashville, but if you lived in a smaller community that you really felt like you had some notoriety, then maybe people would be willing to do that. But I just love the fact that she found so many ways to make money and offer a true value to her clients, a true service. And that didn't cost her anything. And at the end of the day, she was making nearly $500,000 a year before she ever sold a house.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Did she have any special handouts or any links that you can share with us?
Well, she does. And I only got this after the fact by going up to her at the end of the session. And she was kind of coy about it. And she was like, well, we're not supposed to sell and we're not supposed to plug anything here. But I'll add it in the comments. But she apparently has this entire SOP program that you can buy of how to go about doing it with all of, you know, her templates and all of that. I heard somebody say it was like $2,500. I have not looked it up. But that's what she provided to the small group of people who were talking to her. I know she can't put that up at Elite Retreat. But anyway, she does offer that. But other than that, she just, you know, had some great slides. But I do love the fact too of just having a bunch of stuff. I mean, popcorn machines, cotton candy machines, that kind of stuff is not that expensive. And just to know that every time her clients have something that comes up, they've got a birthday party, they need a bounce house, whatever, it's always this conversation of, sure, I'll meet you over at the storage unit and you can pick it up. And she said those conversations lead to money. Inevitably, people stay sticky. And she said, generally speaking, she has a contact of 3 times a year with her clients just through the things that she offers to allow them to borrow for free.
Becky, if you look her up in Loom, a number of her programs are already there. And
Perfect.
She's got lists of things that she has in Loom. So you can just go to Loom and look up a lot of her stuff.
Sure. I'll put her name in the comments at least so you guys can have the spelling of it.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Becky. That's super interesting.
I was
know
curious if anybody, oh, sorry. I was
No,
just
go
going to
ahead.
ask if anybody went to Sandy's breakout session. I've seen people talking about her listing cards, and I'm just curious as to the details on that.
I went, but I can't, I'm trying to think back. I feel like my brain is so full of everything.
I can speak on that.
Actually, she just posted her listing cards in the Elite group. So you guys might want to go in and grab those from Canva. She just posted them, I think, in the last couple of minutes because I've just downloaded them and put them in Canva.
I'm trying to find my notes too.
I went, this is Melissa, in Sacramento. Her breakout was phenomenal. She really talked about, you know how like the joke is that we're not supposed to be a secret agent. She's like, be a secret agent, but on the backside before you meet with the clients, learn a lot about them, research them, find out what their hobbies are. And she's like, she did a really cute play on words. So she's got like stalker status, search the client online, look on social, Google search, property search, CMA research, then profiling for styling is what she called it. Start building a client profile. Who are they? Their age, their image, their style, pets, kids, hobbies, cars. So like you could use that if you know that they're a car person when you're talking about like, well, if you're going to sell a car, like you want to make sure that it's detailed and there's certain things that you would do. So she could just use that in storytelling because that guy would know like, yeah, I'm not going to just put my car for sale and not have it be in its best light. So she could use that with getting his house ready for sale. Work life versus play life. You know, are they a girl mom? Are they a fashionista? Are they into athletics? Start swiping in relationship status is what she said. Getting familiar. Who else may need to make decisions? What are their schedules? What are their distractions? One of the really good things that she said was, say you want to set up a seller consultation at 7 o'clock on Monday. She'll say, what is your house like at 7 p.m.? what's going on? And it's like, oh, we're cooking dinner, we're just coming home from soccer or whatever the case may be. Or if they have littles, she'll bring like an arts and craft project for the kids to do. Or is there a movie that they like, so that she can really just get all the distractions out of the way. This other one's called Caught on Camera. I don't know how I feel about it. I think it's brilliant. I don't know that I would actually do it. She says, catch them off guard, FaceTime them, just randomly FaceTime them. Sneak a peek of how they really present themselves, because this will be, I've definitely been on showing appointment, and it was Zillow, and they caught me and I was like out running errands, and so I wasn't dressed to the tens, and they were looking me up and down. So I think also too, one of the things that we've gotten from this is like dress to impress, really. But to me, I'm like, those aren't my people if they can't see my value and I'm in a casual clothing, because they just needed to see a house in an hour. But catching them on camera, when you're scheduling a call, they're going to probably look their best. But if you just FaceTime them in the house, also you get to see how their house generally looks. Have them give you a video tour. She says, don't be a catfish. Who will be at the door? Avoid sending photos and videos with your filter. Be authentic. So be a secret agent, master observer, notice the details that others overlook. The peeping Tom, crafting a presentation, get to the property before getting in the property. And that's where she was talking about see inside before the appointment. Post photos do not give you, okay, so past photos don't give you a current image if you go on past MLS. So screen record if possible and ask for permission when touring. But again, if you do that FaceTime tour, it's like, oh, just show me the, kitchen and this and that. So you can kind of get an idea. Use what you see to craft the go-to market to-do list. Don't expect perfection, just start working together. So she was saying that she doesn't give them, because she's designed to sell, so she knows interior design very well. She doesn't give them all the nuggets of what she would have them do until they've done pen to paper and signed the listing agreement, which I thought is brilliant, because I tend to overshare and like want to show my value. Don't date blindly. Get to know your client beforehand by noticing the client's surroundings, decoration style. Are they cluttered or are they clean? What's their color palette? Art or personal photos awards. It's all mind games. Who is in front of you? Conform to the client. Are they a dominant trait? She did a whole thing about disc profiles. To know, like, are they analytical, driver, amiable, expressive, and then how she pivots to their type of style. Planning the first date, booking the first property visit. Ask, what does your household look like at this time? Getting ready for dinner, mentioned that already. Remove distractions, dress for success. Let me say it 1 second. She's got all of her playbook is in a loom. They should be finally excited to see you in person because you front loaded all of this and, talk to them on the phone and done the FaceTime. Greet them with excitement, compliment them on something, either their outfit, landscape, home fragrance, make a connection, say their name, the kids, the pets, if you know. Let's see. Get them to taking you to tour the property, create interaction, listen. Let's see. Act like you're their new BFF. Case the place. Photograph the rooms. Help you remember details for your MLS later. Also, someone talked about like Otter AI or just recording so that you're not writing notes while they're taking you through the house. I think that was another breakout, but I thought that was brilliant. Provide homework tools for the owner's to-do list. Capture before and after, because when you're on the property in the beginning, that's really where you could showcase your before and after photos. So ask if you can take photos. Don't give them homework without the signed contract. Pull up a chair. You want the best seat in the house. She's like, where does grandma sit when grandma comes over? Select a space to sit together that is the most family feeling. No TV, no distractions. Have a space for your presentation. And then this is where she talks about the cards, showing them the cards. Discuss your value proposition, outline your services, present a tiered commission model, 7%, 6%, and 5%. What I love about the cards is a lot of us have like maybe a tiered system, and it's like, this is what you can get for this and for this and for this. And when you just see words on a sheet, they're probably going to just pick the money part. But with the cards, say for example, this was what she used was the drone. And so she has all these playing cards out, and then she's taking them away. Like, oh, the drone, maybe you don't need the drone. And so she takes the card off the table, and she's like, but you know, for this particular neighborhood, a lot of people are coming in from out of the area, and drone would be really helpful for them to really get acquainted with the neighborhood. So drone could be helpful, but if you don't want to do drone, that's totally fine. She's like, you're taking the card away. It's something that they want. So that's why I think the cards could be really helpful as like kind of a different way of presenting, but creating that like scarcity, I guess. And she said all the Canva, I guess she just put it up, but all of the Canva templates are in her playbook. Remove services if commission is reduced, individualize the service to give each value. There is a pain point when removing less exposure. Canva link, lay it out there, present your materials, only present what is needed. Ask them out again, setting the next appointment. So staging the walkthrough, pre-photo walk, photo date. She's basically like already talked to her stager, already talked to the contractor, and said, well, the contractor can come by on Saturday if that works for you. So she's like, they're already starting to work with you and they don't even know it. Start with marketing day and plan backwards, all before the listing. Then give them, let's see, I agree first, already signed, leave commission blank. Oh, so she brings the listing appointment or the listing agreement with her. She's already signed everywhere she needs to sign. Like, I've come to work, right? And it's like, I've already committed to you, and you just leave the commission and the price blank. And then she has them handwrite in the, she handwrites in the price and the commission, they initial it, and then they sign it. So she's leaving there with the listing. And she leaves her marketing stuff. She says she gets over 99% of she converts on her listing appointment. So she, you know, people are like, do you leave your things with the client? She goes, I leave it because no one's coming in after me. So I'm fine with that. She was amazing. That's what I got for you.
That was a great synopsis. I was there too. And Melissa, I was kind of like you when she said the thing about FaceTiming them when they weren't expecting it. To me, it felt a little invasive. I felt like if I was the customer, and you know, so many people want their home to be they want to be ready for us when they get there because they often feel embarrassed. And I felt like if I was the customer, the client, I would almost feel like, wait, you're already like almost too aggressive. So to me, that didn't fit quite right. But I think she had so many great ideas.
I'd love to know if anybody has.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was
Okay,
going to
I'd love to know if you go ahead. I'll shut up.
I kind of felt the same way. One of the things that my coach has been on me about is using the power of video, but not just the way that we always think about it, like YouTube and Instagram, but like video recordings, video text messages. So I thought with that one, you know, maybe I don't FaceTime them. I do try to use video more and just record and say, hey, this is actually a reminder, you know, be there today. So I was thinking maybe we could do something more like that instead of the FaceTime, because I personally hate FaceTime. If it's not like my kids, I'm not answering.
Yeah, I'm with you. And especially that, because some people don't want to be on FaceTime if they don't have their hair or makeup, or if their house is a mess and they don't want to show you their kitchen when there's dishes everywhere. And if I was selling my house and my realtor called me and wanted to see it, I would feel like, wait, I'll show it to you tomorrow when you come.
Yeah, you're a little aggressive.
Right? Yeah. So I like what you
I'd
just
be-
suggested.
I'd be curious if any of y'all have thoughts on, and I wanted to ask her in the moment and didn't get a chance to, if anything would be modified for more of a luxury clientele. Like if you've got, or for an age demographic, right? I mean, I loved everything she had to say and I connected with it, but I, as a millennial, I was like, well, of course we FaceTime, whatever. But I wondered from a luxury perspective, what would get modified? I don't know if anyone's had this kind of approach before that has thoughts on it, but.
I would think you would have to. I think she presented in her market, like this is what works really well for her, knowing her demographics. Like I know it could work for me in parts of my like the DC market, but in like I would say the higher end clients, they are not like I don't think they're gonna want like all those, like it needs to be a little bit more concise, and they're expecting luxury as an experience, so they don't really push you back that much on commission. So it's more that you'd be including all of that, so you could almost present it as I think for me, the way I'm going to use her cards is to make sure that I have all those steps and show people, whether I lay them out in cards or in another format. But I think her presentation was really good for me to just remind of all the points and things that you should be including, or you may need to include in your listings and listing presentations.
Yeah, I think for my first time home sellers and for my sellers that have lived in the same house for 15 plus years who haven't sold a home in so long, having those cards was really appealing because it's the visual. The sheets of the breakdowns like we're talking about are wonderful, but this is so much more, especially for folks who are going, I don't even know what it takes to sell a house, just sell it for me. You're just literally, your cards are on the table. I loved it.
Yeah, I agree. Good visual for sure.
I was just going to add to it. This is Anne in LA. I am in a high-end luxury market. Our price point averages around 3 million. And I wasn't there, but I saw the cards and I appreciate that because it is a reminder to people the steps that you take. They probably wouldn't work so much in my market just because that's expected of you. Like all of those things are just part of what you do. However, what I do like about it is what somebody said, for first-time home buyers who might be selling their house for the first time, showing them the steps is an excellent way to show them the process of selling a home. I do use some of those things, but mine are laminated, and I got that idea from Carolyn Young because that's how she does her listing presentation. So sometimes just giving them the visual of the tools is very helpful. Mine are larger, like regular size paper, and they're laminated. And I just show the different social chains that we use and the process that we go through. But our big differentiation is in the marketing. And that's something I do put in the cards, but I take with me because that's proprietary information and that's what sets me apart from my competition.
Thank you. This is Allison from Hoboken. I just had a quick question. So in the last few months, I've been working on my marketing materials, but I feel like at every point that I go to print them or have it printed at like FedEx, I use Canva and all the colors are off and I can't figure out how to get the layout to print on the full page without that weird border. Where do you guys print your materials so it looks like true marketing materials? Because I just haven't, it's not working.
Allison,
with whatever I'm doing.
When you're downloading them to Canva to print, are you making sure that they're CMYK and not RGB? There's two different options. And CMYK is the option that you should use when you print because those are the 4 colors. They're like your printer. Cyan, magenta.
Got it.
And the RGB is what you look at when you look at it on the screen. So when it prints, it will not be the same quality as if you were to use PDF for print. And
right.
when you print it, there's a PDF option. When you download it to PDF, there's an option to bleed. And so if your photo extends to the entire page, you want to tell it to bleed, and you want to give it like a 1/4 inch bleed, and that's on the PDF option.
Okay.
And I'm one of the coaches, so you can always just text me and ask me to walk you through it if you need my help.
Thank you. Yeah,
But,
I'm like every single time. Well, sometimes, like for example, I did like the open house flyer, and I just wanted it to look better than what my company does for us. So I went to print it, and I'm like, the quality is garbage. The fonts don't look the same. The colors don't look the same. And if I'm just printing it as a regular piece of paper, I just want it to look like what's on the screen, as opposed to like the thicker paper for the actual marketing materials and all that stuff.
the other thing is that I don't know how everybody else feels, but I'm a big printer. So, I mean, I'm the person that does the planners. So I'm all into paper, but I don't print my marketing materials a lot anymore. I use Hazine, and they're flippable books. And I
that's
include
great.
links to the flippable books, because right now our market is changing so quickly that by the time you print out your marketing materials, they're probably not 100% what you want to represent. I mean, like, look at your buyer guides. So Marna, can you put that link in the chat? It's Anne. Can you put I haven't heard that one, the Hazen or whatever. So I use Hazine. I was using FlipStack, and I know I've recommended to a lot of people.
I use FlipStack. That's why
It's
I'm
a lot
curious
more
to-
money. It's a lot more money. So Hazine is a lot less expensive, and it's the same thing. It's like a third of the price, Am. Because I know I recommended FlipStack to a lot of you, but
yeah, because we use it at Sotheby's, and I've been using it for presentations and stuff when I don't want to print. But I'll check out Hazine too.
Yeah, the pricing on Hazine is like $8 a month. Is their professional plan.
Thank you. Sorry to interrupt.
Nope, that's okay.
Thank you.
And Karina, I just wanted to add, for those of you that are trying to front load your marketing, I know a lot of people talked about Loomly. There, and Anne knows me a long time, so she knows I use AppSumo. There's an app on AppSumo called Sociamonials, and it's $69 for a lifetime membership. And I've been using it to front load my marketing, and I basically can put my marketing in a Google spreadsheet and upload it, and it'll post. And what I like about that is I can make it post the same content to different platforms at different times of the day. A lot of people, when they use a platform like Loomly, will post to all of your platforms at the same time. And you're not going to grow your audience because you're posting to the same people at the same time of day. So I can put the link to that in the chat if you want me to. But it's a social media posting service.
Does that one also post to Google?
I'm sorry?
I was just curious, does that app also post to Google?
Yes, it does.
Oh, nice. Okay, nice.
Yeah, it does.
Awesome.
It posts to everything. And it also has I haven't used it. I've looked at it. I'm not really in production. So I haven't used it a lot, although I'm constantly changing my marketing because I still do client events. It does contests. So it has like a contest component also. So if you wanted to do like a promotion, it has that in there also.
I actually have a question for you based on your client event. So I've never done one, and it's something that I'm looking to incorporating this year. However, as a side note, we have a huge, so there's this woman that does a town blog, and basically anything that's opening, closing, happening in town, she's started a consulting business out of this. So restaurants, hair salons, nail salons, water main breaks, the whole nine. So she's teamed up with a local yoga studio. They did this last year, and it's a women working event. And I signed up because I would assume like most agents aren't going to this. So I had offered to do like a giveaway basket, because they are doing those from other companies, and doing like a closing basket, like a makeshift closing basket. Would you do like a raffle type thing? Like, refer me a friend that's looking to buy, let's chat or something, or would you just do it?
You run into problems with RESPA violations when you do things so you've got to be really careful about. I always tell everybody to double check with their broker before they run anything like that, because it's not just RESPA violations, but some brokerages have rules against stuff like that. So just touch base. Yes, you can do it. It's kind of like the sponsorships. You've got to be really careful when you do the sponsorships, because I'm a huge proponent of getting paid sponsors for your events. They don't give us as many leads as we give them. So that's kind of the behavior. So I would look at those things, but there are contests out there that other agents have done. I know the Peters Group, if you Google them, they're in my market in Atlanta. And I know she did a Yeti contest a few years ago when Yeti was like just becoming known. And everybody who sent her referral got an entry into this Yeti giveaway contest.
Okay.
Hope that helps.
Perfect. Yeah, that's great. I was also like, do I just come up with some sort of postcard, like as if we were going to an event, you know, how people do their swag or their giveaways, or just something different than their business card, just to stand out? Like, if you're looking to move, or if you or know, or whatever, like just a postcard size thing, just so it doesn't just like it's going to get thrown away, but it's just, instead of it being this small little thing, when there's all these different business owners there.
Make it go to a QR.
Allison,
make it be a QR code to a landing page on your website.
And have the back of it have like how to enter into whatever your giveaway is. So like they want to take it, they want to read it. And like I always like to do, I mean, it's kind of weird if you're doing it like open to the public, but I always like to do like get an entry into the drawing by leaving me a review on Google, leaving me a review. I mean, it's different when you don't know these people, but if I'm hosting the event, then like the review can even be about how awesome my event was. You know, so think about what you want to get out of it. And then I would make that the requirement to end. Like, you have to follow me on Instagram. You have to follow me on Facebook. You have to follow my YouTube channel, whatever it is. Make that like your entry to get into the giveaway, not just like drop your name and address, because we want them to like see us. So.
Right. Okay, cool.
It's not a larger postcard, but I was blown away. Maybe this is old news. One of the agents I met, the Biscos group, had Starbucks gift cards as their business cards that you can go on Starbucks website and purchase gift cards and customize them with your business card information. I'm obsessed. And I'm sure even if it's $5, I thought, because, you know, she said, oh, hold on to it. That's a real gift card kind of thing, which got the conversation going, but I loved that.
Yeah, that's great.
So just circling back to the breakout sessions, any other breakout sessions that really kind of stuck with you guys that we should know about?
One of the ones that stuck out for me, honestly, wasn't necessarily pouring back into my business, but it was the gentleman who is investing, and listening to him and how he made me feel kind of old. I'm 41 and he started when he was like 20. But how far he's come, what all he's learned, how open he was to sharing everything that they're doing. This is something that I've personally had on my heart for a little while, is, you know, I have a couple of investment properties, but as real estate agents, there's no reason that we shouldn't be in this world much more than most of us are. And how, you know, he was just talking about eventually none of us are going to want to be showing buyers or showing, you know, listings or even talking to our team on a regular basis. You know, we're going to want to sit back and relax a little bit. And the only way to make that happen is to have those investment properties. And he said, really looking at like, what do you make right now that is a comfortable level of living for you? And what does that number look like? And so how many investment properties do you need to have in your, pocket so that by the time you're ready to retire, your investment properties are now making that money for you and you are able to pull back if you choose to do so. Or you may be one that wants to, pound the pavement until you die, and that's your choice, but now it's a choice. It's not something you're having to do. I was really inspired by everything that he was talking about, how they're getting opportunities. So yeah, it was a really good one.
I'm gonna make a shameless plug real quick on that. My husband and I buy small businesses as a way to passive income, and I had made a post about a get together. I'm not sure if anybody commented on that. To get together at Elite Retreat to do like a dinner, and I ended up having like 30 or 40 people respond to that. We actually have like a full-on presentation, how we find the deals, how we structure them, how we step back so we're not day-to-day operations. But I'm going to be posting probably in Elite over the next couple of days. We're going to find a time about a month out to do a Zoom for anybody who might be interested in that, because I can tell your mind's kind of headed in that direction to not be a dancing bear for forever. And so
I wanted to jump on with you, but unfortunately there was like so many people, I wasn't able to really get into that. So yeah, if you do it again, I would definitely love to jump on that and have a mastermind separate to that.
Sure.
Me too.
So
I'd
I
love to
actually,
get involved in that.
same.
Yeah, I would love to get on that call and bring my husband on that call too, because I feel like that's something that you kind of need everyone on board with. It's probably more than I could handle taking on my own, but I think like having my partner involved would definitely be helpful.
No, I agree.
I actually just had a client say that he could just quit his job and he's going to start buying businesses. And I have no idea how to guide him except to refer him to other people in the areas he is. So it'd be super helpful.
For me, it's always easier to help other people do it than for me to do it. I don't know why. I guess it's because it's my money and I'm like, holy crap, I'm about to drop however much. And my husband, Karina, going back to what you were just saying, my husband is constantly like text messaging me, like, I found this on Facebook and I found this. I'm like, stop, you're overwhelming me. Like, I'm already in the business, when we're going down that path, we'll jump on it. So I think that would be a great mastermind to have. And I would love, if my husband could jump on with us as well.
Absolutely. Becky, make it happen for us.
I will.
Uh,
I'm
well,
just gonna get with his schedule and like figure out date and time wise. And the bad thing is like we've done this a couple of times and inevitably there's people who are like, I can't do Wednesdays at 2:00. Like it's just kind of the nature of the beast. But I will put it on the Elite page. I will say a lot of times stuff like this, for whatever reason, gets removed from the Elite page. Like I think Ray Allen just had something that he was doing a mastermind and that got removed. I'm going to put my email address in the notes. If you guys are specifically interested, I will post it on the Elite page. But if it's something that you really do want to make sure that you see, just shoot me an email and I'll make sure to include you on that.
You can also post it in the Ladies of Elite page. I won't take it down.
Yeah, awesome.
Perfect. All right, guys, we are about out of time and I know everyone's so busy with everything we're trying to implement. So I don't want to hold anyone up unless there's any other topic that you guys wanted to bring on here in the last couple minutes.
Wanted just based on our last conversation, I have found an ISA that if you want to do email marketing and get your we were talking about like the weekly email or creating that. If you want on that, I'll post about it in the group, but I have found somebody and then we can all go in on that ISA and then it's just a matter of just changing the branding and stuff, but they can also do that for you. We could just create one Canva template and then go from there. So I did find somebody. I'll post the details in the group.
That's awesome. Thank you, Maggie. And then we are going to do on our next call, we are going to go back to drips and just kind of finalize you know, making sure our CRM is organized and outlining the drip campaigns that we're using. So if you want to prepare for that by just like downloading any drips that you currently have in your CRM so that we can share them, that would be awesome. And that's going to be in 2 weeks on Wednesday. So I'll post it in the group and get it all up so that everyone can see it and get it on their calendar here in the next week or so. But that's going to be our next topic. And then after that, I think we're going to go into branding, because that was something that I know we did a big call in November on branding, but it was definitely something that you guys wanted to talk about again. So we'll bring in some experts to do that too. So, all right. I hope everyone has an awesome week. And oh, Maggie, will you also like maybe set up a book club for the 12-week year?
12-week year, sure. I'll do that.
Maybe outside of our mastermind call, so that people that aren't
Yeah.
reading the book, we can kind of keep it separate. That'd
Okay.
be awesome. Thank you. All right. Good luck, everyone, this week. Thanks for joining.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.